Joining me live now is the New South Wales opposition leader Mark Speakman. Mark Speakman, thanks so much for your time. Your reaction to this referral and this move from Chris Minns yesterday, the right move?
Well, on the Premier's account, it is the right move to have asked Mr Crakanthorp to resign, so I welcome the swiftness of that. But what needs to be done now is an account to the public of what was the conflict of interest, what were the properties, what are the decisions that the Premier says he's got concerns about, and what is the Premier doing to review those decisions and, if necessary, to change those decisions. Now, I know the Premier has said he's referred the matter to ICAC. That could take some years to finish an investigation, and in the meantime, the public does not know what are the potential transactions that have been affected, what is the implication for the taxpayer and the general public, and what is the Premier going to do about those matters.
As you say, he has referred this matter to ICAC. What are you suggesting he should do in the meantime? Isn't there a risk here that you go too far and there's that balance of innocence before being proven guilty that's shaken up?
Well, it's not a matter at the moment about declaring Mr Crakanthorp to be corrupt or not corrupt. It's a matter of public confidence in the process of government. The Premier has said he has concerns that there are a number of matters that may have been affected by this conflict of interest. So it's not merely a matter of non-disclosure. It's not analogous to failing to put your tax return in on time. The Premier apparently has concerns that there are matters which could have been affected by this conflict of interest. So he needs to tell us what those matters are, what review he's going to undertake of those matters, and if necessary, amend decisions. This is not about, at the moment, innocence or guilt. That can come later. This is about making sure that if there are any decisions that have been affected in an adverse way, those decisions are corrected promptly.
Okay, but he's only been Premier and this minister was only minister for around 4 months. What decisions could have been made in that time?
Well, that's the problem. We don't know, and that's why the Premier has to give an accounting to the public. The Premier appears to have said this is more than just non-disclosure. He's concerned that there may be matters that have been affected by this conflict of interest. He needs to give us a reassurance that he is telling us what those matters are and what he's going to do about it.
Okay, one other question that I think the general public will have here is whether this was an intentional non-disclosure or whether it was lazy. Now, neither of those arguments passed the pub test, but if this was intentionally not disclosed, would you have even more concerns about that?
Well, that would create even more concerns, but at the moment, the pressing question is, what are these matters? You said when matters have been referred to ICAC in the past, we've known who the players are, what the transactions are that ICAC is looking to investigate. We don't know here what the properties were in question that created the conflict. We aren't being told what are the matters about which the Premier is concerned. How could these decisions have been affected? The Premier needs to give that accounting to the general public and reassure the general public that he is looking at those decisions and, if necessary, changing them.
Are you happy for him to just look at the decisions, or do you think those decisions need to be declared publicly?
Well, I think they need to be declared publicly to give the public confidence in the openness of government. I mean, open government is incredibly important. As you say, the Premier spoke about integrity before the election. We need to understand now what the Premier is doing to address these concerns.
Do you give him credit for acting quickly?
Well, on the Premier's account of matters, he has acted swiftly, and I give him credit for that. But what he needs to do now is tell the public what it's all about. When there have been other referrals to ICAC in the past, we've known what the transactions are, we've known who the players are. Here the public is being left in the dark, and we need an assurance about what those matters are, that they are under review, and if necessary, decisions that are affected will be changed.
Do you think there's a chance here that he's referred this matter to ICAC too quickly?
No, I don't. I don't think a referral to ICAC closes down this disclosure. You can't just kick the matter down the road now to ICAC and let potentially have years to investigate it. In the meantime, we need to know the government is acting swiftly to correct any decisions that have been affected and the public is being told what these decisions are, that there's an openness and an accountability in government.